Hello world, I'm Kronos. Welcome. Today, well, first of all, as you can see, such a beautiful, we're in the river again. And I was about, I was, I wasn't sure I'm gonna make a video today because last night, well, I had food poisoning. And so I've been puking and diarrhea since since last night, all day, and I'm really weak because I couldn't even hold water. So I was puking all night, and I'm just weak physically. But I thought to myself, that could be a good lesson. And I asked myself, like, how committed are you if just because you're feeling weak, you know, you don't do this? I was inspired by, like, how committed are you? I was inspired by Sadhguru, who said he never canceled, except I think, well, once. So his story was that he never canceled a show or like a seminar or whatever it is because of sickness. He always shows up. And of course, there is a degree to, like, you should, like, if you're completely dead, like, how are you gonna do it? But I do believe that we might give ourselves a little bit too many excuses too easily. When we get a little unwell, or we feel a little sad, and I thought to myself, yeah, I'm not in the best shape right now, and I do feel weak, and I still have diarrhea, and I still have this weird feeling and weakness, but that's no excuse. I can still do it, and here I am doing it. And not only that, I feel a lot better. I came here instantly. I was almost making the video back on the road, next to the road, but the cars in the background, it was disturbing me. I was like, no, I want to go to nature and disconnect, even though it's like a few minutes away, right? The moment I'm secluded, like here, and I can't see the cars in here, and like the people and all them, once I'm here, then it's like it doesn't exist. I'm right here. This is don't exist, and I feel like just laying down, looking. I don't know if you can tell, but it's raining. Anyway, that's enough about, well, let me just clarify the food poisoning. I was with a friend at like a pool that has this hot spring, natural spring, and we ordered some food, but I don't think it was that. I got a watermelon, and I didn't wash it. And apparently when I cut into it, because they mistreated it, I guess it's weird to me too. It never happened to me before, but apparently it does happen. Like I checked, and if you cut a watermelon without cleaning the surface first, you might get food poisoning. Who would have? I learned the hard way, and I'm just happy my brother, my friend, which is a brother, really, didn't eat the watermelon as well, because he will suffer the same consequences, obviously. So, just this little story, like, I use it as motivation. And even though it's raining right now and it's cold, and I'm weak, I'm still gonna do it. I think it will make me feel better, and I think it's a lot like, my body might be weak, but my mind isn't. And I do have all these thoughts and all these things. You know how you can lay down in bed and be like completely tired, like a zombie, and your body is wrecked, but your mind is running. That feeling everyone does. So it's kind of like that, except I couldn't even sleep really. I slept a little bit, but I was just meditating, like looking at the ceiling with Beethoven in the background. And so I thought, I've been doing that all day, and now I thought I might go out. I feel so good that I did. So I'm sharing this with you because I believe there is a lesson to be learned here. It does connect to what I want to read about. With Seneca, I'm going to jump to like this topic a little bit because it's relevant to what's happening to me right now. And it did give me a perspective, you know, I learned from it. And I actually remembered this chapter retroactive, like first I got sick and then I was thinking, what do I do? Like, and then I remembered that, like, and so I was looking for it and I found it. I think there are a few options. So, well, I hope the rain doesn't kill my book completely, but it is about health and on travel as a cure for discontent. Well, the thing is, when you travel, you are, why don't I just read, you know, the stuff, because I don't want to focus on this. I'll just read a little bit, and I'm going to move on. But this is about me going out here and instead of staying home, you know, and not doing the video, not going out to the wild. Why you should. So, do you suppose that you alone have had this experience? Are you surprised, as if it were a novelty, that after such long travel and so many changes of scene, you have not been able to shake off the gloom of heaviness in your mind, off your mind? You need a change of soul rather than a change of climate. Though you may cross vast spaces of sea, and enough, as our virgins remark, lands and cities are left astern. This is bro went in. Like, so traveling and going to places will not this is not what I was aiming for, but yeah, traveling and changing the scenery, changing the city, changing the position, the location, that's not gonna help you. That's running away from you. When people run away physically to another place, usually it's when they have this feeling, you know, that you want to get away from everything, they want to go to another place. Another place is better, you know, that's how they think. And it's like, it's the same metaphor as the neighbor's grass is always greener, you know. It's not true, it's your perspective and it's how you view the world, because you look at the neighbor and they're like, I want what he has. So you'll never be satisfied. And for people who want to run away and travel everywhere because they want to get away, they want to just, they feel like they need to, that other places are better, you know, they always want to go away and get to some new place. Well, he says it really harshly, but it's true. You have not been able to shake off the gloom and heaviness of your mind. You need a change of soul rather than a change of climate. You need to change the way you view the world and why you do what you do. You can travel to another country, another continent. It will not change you. It is a manifestation of your own discomfort with your own self. You're not happy with yourself. You're trying to run away from yourself. And that's running away physically to another place is how you psychologically manifest. It's kind of like when psychologists learn psychology, 99% of them do it because they have a problem and they can't figure it out and they're confused and lost and they need help. and they need to figure it out because they can't lift this heaviness, and they don't know how to deal with it. They don't know themselves, so they don't learn psychology under the disguise of being someone who understands the mind so they can help others. But in truthfulness, they do it for themselves. Most of them. I would be very careful when I'm going to a psychiatrist. Very careful. Usually you're dealing. Let me give you this statistic. What is the profession with the highest rate of suicide? Yeah, you guessed it. If that doesn't tell you everything. So, you're running physically away, but you're really running from yourself. And you can't do that. So you need a change of thought. He says it in such a... Damn, it's like a rapper, you know? It's like a punchline. That was like, you don't need no change of climate, you need a change of soul, you know? Damn, that's hard. Anyway, so... this is not what like you can see I'm in a good mood, like this really helps me. And even the cold, you know? And I wanna be clarify, like, the reason I really want to make this video is about how you should disconnect the way you're feeling physically. Doesn't have to affect your mind. You don't have to get depressed. You don't have to get sad. You don't have to get, you don't have to be like, Your mind comes first. Don't let the weakness of the body control your mind. Let your mind control your body. That's how you also heal. That's how you cure. That's how you come from a positive place when you tell. Because we are not the body. We're a soul, right? And everything comes first, like consciousness. You are a soul and you have a consciousness. And everything you create is the result of your consciousness. That includes your body. Any illness you have is a sign of something soulful in your soul. So if you're able to first of all understand that and realize that and truly know it, believe it, you will be able to switch it around and switch, you can heal anything. We are a divine creature. This is just the body used for a lesson. First of all, you're immortal and you can heal anything. So a happy soul, a happy brain will help you and you will be healthier physically. If you have a positive outlook on things, especially when it's kind of like if you are poor and you don't stress about it, how good will you feel when you are not poor, And if you can feel well mentally and not let it bring you down, that you feel like shit inside, like physically, how well can you get when you do feel well? Potential. Now, this is not what I was gonna go to, not what I was gonna talk about, but it's more connected to the fact that I came out and I moved out and it makes me feel better, but that's not the point. What I want to talk about is on the healing power of the mind. So that you are frequently troubled by the snuffling of catarrh and by short attacks of fever which follow after a long chronic catarrhal seizures, I am sorry to hear, particularly because I have experienced this sort of illness myself and scorned it in its early stages. For when I was still young, I could put up with these hardships and show a bold front of illness. But I finally succumbed, and I arrived at such a state that I could do nothing but snuffle. Reduced as I was to the extremity of thinness. that happened to such a degree. He was so bad that Seneca's enemy, Caligula, which I'm not going to go into this right now, but he refrained from executing Seneca because he was sure he was going to die. That's how bad he was. That's how bad it got. He was really, 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 really sick. So, reduced to the extremity of thinness, I often entertained the impulse of ending my life then and there, but the thought of my kind old father kept me back, for I reflected not how bravely I had the power to die, but how little power he had to bear bravely the loss of me. So he contemplated suicide. He got that bad. He was like, fuck it, you know? But he didn't do it not because of him. He didn't do it because he was thinking about his loved ones, specifically his father, and how it will hurt him. I don't know if to share this, but I've experienced this many, many times myself, you know. Existence here is not easy for a free soul, a free spirit like myself. It's not easy, trust me. Suicide is like a way of going back home, you know. It's not about, I'm not even like depressed or anything, I'm just, you know, like what the fuck am I doing here? Like if I'm not chasing my highest calling, like what the fuck am I doing here? I'm like, I don't want to be here, like I don't know, like this place is not, I would rather go back home. Like I always contemplate it, but I'm hanging on, you know, and don't worry, don't fucking worry, right? I'm not suicidal, but I do, I feel just like Seneca, you know, in that sense. I feel, what am I doing here, you know? I really want to go travel the universe and other planets, you know, and meet other forms of life and aliens, which you may know is being revealed that they're among us and they're all around us and they've been here all the time. I don't know if you know this, but yeah, aliens. So I want to meet all the different species and travel to their home planet, and you know, I just wanna, you know, experience this universe. I don't wanna be so, you know. And if I'm not doing that, if I'm not free, doing what I love, then what the fuck am I doing? Like, no, it loses the point, you know. Anyway, so, but I reflect. This is one of the his most famous, like you will see. So I reflected not how bravely I had the power to die, but how little power he, his father, had to bear bravely the loss of me. And so I commended myself to it. And this is the sentence. Sometimes it is an act of bravery even to live. So true. Sometimes to live takes more courage than to die, you know? Death can be so liberating, you know? You're going back home, you know? But you should, the thing is, I don't want to put ideas into people's heads, you know. The point is, I'm not doing it and he didn't do it. And You should appreciate life and you should stay and learn what you have. This is just, we are dealing with philosophy. We are dealing with way of life. We are asking questions. We question everything. Death is one of those things. And once you can conquer the fear of death, then you can truly live. So this is not about in a negative sense, you know? And it is so true. Some people go through hell every day. They still choose to continue to live. And if you look at the ultimate grand scale of things, if you look at it from the upper, most highest perception, anyway, perspective, whatever, we learn that this is all, like Rumi says, you know, this place is a dream. Only the sleeper considers it real. And then we wake up at the dawn of morning, something like that, laughing at what we thought were our troubles. Something like that, don't? The quote goes something like that, but the point is, this is just this whole 3D dimension, like what is it? It's just, you know, you could have 1,000 of those. 1,000 reincarnations you would carry forward. You could be here tens of thousands of times, like, and it's all just, it's this, it's a tiny fraction of it's, the time doesn't really exist anyway, so this time that you spend here, right, it's just it's nothing. It's not, you're infinite. You live forever. Enjoy what you like this moment because there is nothing else. And you can do anything and be anyone, and you can have like 1,000 times to try. You could be a man or woman that you can learn. You could be a pianist, or like in the next life or the one before. You could be anything. You can do anything. Like this is just another experience, like kind of like a video game, you know. It's just another game, you know. You're playing this game now. Tomorrow you'll play another game, and you have all the time in the world. So don't worry. That's why I keep saying in every video. Right. We're all immortal souls, right? We live forever. Don't be afraid, because you have nothing to be afraid of. You cannot die. You have all the time in the world. You can't fail. The only time you fail is when you stop. It's when you stop looking within, when you stop being true to yourself. That's when you fail. When you stop trying, when you stop, that's when you fail. You cannot really fail, because you can always start over, really. But if you would want to call anything failure, that would be it. It's a sense of how you feel about it. You could win a silver medal and not be happy. Like you could be like, I want the gold, you know? Or you could just participate and be happy about that. That you tried, that you gave it your best. There's a difference. So, one of the greatest quotes that I really love was sometimes it is an act of bravery even to live. And it is. And it goes so deep. Life can be heaven, it can be Eden, it can be so good. But we create. This is life. You see this? This is life. We create this dystopian states. We create it. We create hell here. That's not the normal state. And if you wanna go back to Eden, rise up back in, like Adam and Eve, go back to Eden. All you have to do is really come to the realization that you are light, that you are made of love, and that's and that's how you can manifest. That's how you can be what you are and truly know yourself. That's how you learn who you truly are, and that's how you can return to Eden. That's how you create heaven on earth. That's what I want to create. And that's what I'm striving for, and that's what I'm doing with this. Trying to show people, and it has nothing to do specifically with Stoic philosophy. This is just like, you have to understand, this is not my life. I do, it's just a little part. We're going to talk about so many things that doesn't have anything to do with Stoic per se. It has to do with the soul, with the mind, with everything, with creation, with God, being God, and everything like that. And how to deal with the life. And we can also talk about everything, politics, everything, but I'm trying to show people my goal is to show you the bigger picture. So that you can handle yourself here with grace and, be centered, be like, you can deal with life, you can feel confident in it, and enjoy life. And together, we can get together and create this heaven on earth that I'm talking about. But for that, we need to get together, and that's why I feel like an obligation to spread this word. And I hope it reaches people and they take something for it for their soul, Otherwise, what am I doing here? Wasting my time. Let's continue. Now I shall tell you what consoled me during those days, stating at the outset that this very aids to my peace of mind, whereas efficacious as medicine. Honorable consolation results in a cure, and whatever has uplifted the soul helps the body also. My studies were my salvation. I place it in the credit of philosophy that I recovered and regained my strength. I owe my life to philosophy. That is the least of my obligations. My friends too helped me greatly toward good health. I used to be comforted by their cheering words, by the hours they spent at my bedside, and by their conversation. Nothing, my excellent nephew, refreshes and aids a sick man as much as the affection of his friends. Nothing so steals away the expectation and the fear of death. In fact, I could not believe that if they survived me, I should be dying at all. Yes, I repeat it. It seemed to me that I should continue to live, not with them, but through them. I imagined myself not to be yielding up my soul, but to be making it over to them. The way he's thinking, the philosophy, the way he takes stuff, this illness, this near-death illness, is what eventually cured him. Because, and his friends, and the support of his friends. So, he kind of says that to his mentality, so if he was beaten down spiritually, his soul would hurt and his sickness would get worse. And that's true. People cure this, and trust me, I will not go into details, but you can cure if you can connect to the collective consciousness, and you can, especially if you have other people that can tune into that energy, that frequency, you can heal like cancer, you can heal anything. Any illness you can heal. Especially if you have people around you that understand this, understand that we are, first of all, source, first of all, consciousness. This is the result of your mentality, of how you behave, how you act, how you think. And if you understand that comes first, your consciousness, you can change the way you are. You need to change your beliefs. But I'm not going to go into details about that. He talks about how philosophy gave him this will to live and this power, and how his friends because they supported him so much and showed love, and they were suffered for him to make him feel better. He feels this obligation to keep on living, not for them but through them. A continuation. We're in this together, you know. It's basically how I interpret it. So, all these things gave me the inclination to secure myself and to endure my torture. Besides, it is the most miserable state to have lost one's zest for dying, and to have no zest in living. These, then, are the remedies to which you should have recourse. Now, listen to this part, because this part is gonna give you a perspective on how a physician, a doctor, how someone who is a healthcare professional, how someone who treats people is supposed to be. This is how doctors were back in the day. Listen to this, compare it to the drug dealers we deal with today that literally sell you drugs for money, and that's all they do, pushing pills, and have zero knowledge about healthcare. They don't know anything about it. All they learn for 7 years is what Big Pharma pays universities to teach them. That is literally a fact. So all they learn is how to sell drugs, which treat symptoms, never the disease. Because once you cure someone, you cannot expect a business that benefits from people being sick and dying to cure you. That goes against their business model. It doesn't make sense. Think about it. So doctors may have the best intention, but they are completely ignorant. And Big Pharma is controlling literally all universities and all they learn. All their curriculum is learned by Big Pharma, by drug dealers. It's a drug cartel. So, yeah, let's see how it's supposed to be. Now, all these things gave me the inclination to secure myself and endure any torture. Besides, it is the most miserable state to have lost one's zest for dying and to have no zest in living. So, these then are the remedies to which you should have recourse. Now, the physician will prescribe your walks and your exercise. Yeah, you're hearing right. They used to prescribe walks and exercise. Wait. He will warn you not to become addicted to idleness. That's a real doctor. That's a real help. So he will tell you you should don't neglect the body. Don't just lay down in bed all day. You need to move. It helps you. You help your soul, your mind. Of course, to a certain degree, that's why you have these doctors that understand the condition and can, make it so that give you the right prescription for it. This is medicine, by the way. So he will warn you not to become addicted to idleness. It is the tendency of the inactive invalid. As it is the tendency of the inactive invalid. He will order you to read in a louder voice and to exercise your lungs, the passages and cavity of which are affected. You're weak, don't just be weak, use it. So a true doctor, a true physician that understands health, understands this. You need to move, you need air and food, you need to, don't just lay down and die. That is not what your body is meant to do. Do what you can. You don't see people that have a very bad injury and how they go and do these people that teach you, for example, how to so this I forgot their name, but they teach you for example, if you are after surgery and you can barely move your leg or something, they will teach you slowly how to, you know what I'm talking about. They don't tell you let the leg rest and just, no, you go through pain, you go through the hardship so that you can be able, so you go through it, you deal with it. You don't just, okay, I cannot move my leg anymore. You don't. I'll give you an example from my life. Doctors told me I will never be able. Like I had three discs. I was kicked in the head. I guess that's what he calls it. I was kicked really, really hard in the head in a Muay Thai fight, and I was like doing this, and the whole it was really bad. I was bedridden for 2 months, and when I say bedridden, I mean I literally could not move at all, and I was like this. I couldn't do anything. I could not function. Like I was completely, I could not, it was nightmare. And after a few months and like complete suffering, and mind you, Muay Thai is like, and was at least there, everything in my, like that's all I wanted. That's all I needed. That's all I was living it. So when I went to the physician, to the drug dealers, and they consulted and they checked me and they did they took the like all of this, and they came to the conclusion that that I need surgery, and if I don't, I'm at risk of being paralyzed. The moment they said that, I asked them, will I be able to move freely? Like, what are you doing? They said, no, you will have the moment that I understood they're gonna open me up and like change me physically and like fuck up what God gave me, and I knew that I stood up and went. I went like yeah, okay, bye. And I was like, fuck them, like these fucking drug dealers. You know they're getting paid for it too. So he sent it to surgery. So this, I went and I started doing. It was a nightmare. It took me months. When I started doing pull-ups, I started doing push-ups. Slowly, very slowly. I could do it very slowly, and that goes against the doctors. By the way, there is a movie about a guy I think does, again, had the same like issue like me. I think it's a real story, but there is like a documentary or a movie about it that he was fighting. I don't know if it was Muay Thai or kickboxing or whatever, or boxing, and he had the same situation as I, and he was told that he was paralyzed and never gonna fight again. He said, no, I don't accept that, and he cured himself. I very much advise reading the Dr. Dispoza. I forgot how, I always forget, Dispenza, I think, about becoming supernatural. He teaches this in classes in the USA, how to heal the body using the conscience, and it's he was completely paralyzed and he cured himself too. I will not go into details, but this connects directly. We're going to talk about it in the future, so I want to focus right now on the philosophy, but you should definitely check it out. Heal through frequencies and through consciousness. That's how we truly heal. It's all inside first. So he will order you to read in a louder voice and to exercise your lungs and passages and captivities which are being affected. So you are coughing, you're doing something. So exercise that because it's weak. Don't accept it and let it die, you know? If your muscles are weak, don't go and make them strong. And it hurts. That's the point. That's how you grow. And so, or to sail and shake up your bowels by a little mild emotion. Send you sailing so that you may puke. Don't stay ideal, basically. He will recommend the proper food and a suitable time for aiding your strength with wine or refraining from it in order to keep your cough from being irritated and hacking. So this is a true doctor, you know. He will recommend maybe even wine, you know, if it can help you. Alcohol has its benefits. It's a disinfectant. Why not? Or maybe you should avoid it because it can create irritation. So doctors back in the day, the point is, were actual doctors. They were actually actual medicine men. You know, they were actually look at the body and understand it and cure it in a natural way. They would not look for drugs and try to sell you drugs just to get a bump in their salary. Just think how crazy it is. Like, people go to sleep at night, like they will kill you. Like these doctors that shove these vaccines to our families and friends, and people and they killed like millions of people, and the same people that were murdered by the same doctor still go to this person and ask for medical advice. Like, the person killed your fucking family members to keep his job. Sorry if I'm I know it's not, like, my mind is spinning. I know I'm not usually this loud, but first of all, it's so loud here, and second of all, I'm passionate about it because it really irks. Like, it really, I'm like, how do these people walk among us? Why don't we do something like, how is people not outraged? You know what I'm saying? How do you not go to your doctor's office and flip the table and where's the outrage? Why are people accepting having their family members killed by some drug dealer you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just written to me that this is why I'm doing this, I want to get people together and make a change. This cannot be. We're living in a place, we're walking around murderers, killers. People's morality compass is so completely fucked that they would rather keep their job and have you pay for it. They kill you. They will risk your life to keep their job. That is the modern day doctor. And you go and you look at him as authority. Authority on what? On how to sell drugs? Yeah. They definitely know how to do that. So, true doctor. So, aiding your strength with wine or refraining from it in order to keep your cough from being irritated and hacking. But as for me, my counsel to you is this, and this is a cure. Not merely of this disease of yours, but of your whole life. Despise death, is what he says, quote unquote. Despise death. There is no sorrow in the world where we have escaped from the fear of death. There are these three serious elements in each disease, every disease: fear of death, bodily pain, and interruption of pleasures. Concerning death, enough has been said, and I shall add only a word. This fear is not a fear of disease, but a fear of nature. Disease has often postponed it, and the vision of dying has been many men's salvation. You will die, not because you're ill, but because you're alive. Even when you have been cured, the same ends await you. When you have recovered, it will be not death, but ill health that you have escaped. So, this is so smart. You're not escaping death, you're escaping this feeling of illness. You have nothing to be afraid of death. It is the end for everyone, and when you are afraid of it, you're afraid of nature. But we are taught from a young age to be afraid of death, because we are taught that this is all there is. And when you die, it all ends. And there is a guy in the sky that will condemn you to hell or heaven. This is how you keep people in control. It's a lie. I keep saying it. Established religion is in layman's terms evil. The purpose of established religion is to control the minds of the people. You have to that is the purpose. That is why. So once you understand that, you can be careful of it. And again, I said established religion, not religion itself. Established. You go to a priest asking for guidance, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about most of the time, because he doesn't know God himself. Because how can he? He thinks it's outside of him, when truly it is in us. Oh, so if you're looking for answers, look within. But once you teach people that they don't need you anymore, you lose your power, right? People don't need you if they have their own power. So that's why they're keeping it away from you. That's why they're putting it outside of you. You don't know God. I know God. Come to me for answers. Don't forget to pay me and donate to my church, right? Let me tell you the answers. Let me give you the answers. I know the answers. I am connected to God. You are not. You see what I'm saying? You know where I'm going with this? Established religion is the fastest way, the quickest way to get away from God. If you want to live like a materialistic, senseless, like shallow life with no meaning and just waste your time here and not learn anything and just, which I'm not judging, you can do it. Some people choose their lives like that, like they want to just, they want this incarnation, they just want to go treat themselves, go have crazy fun and just, maybe, but if that's what you want to do, that's one thing, but know what you're doing. And if you don't want that, first of all, close your eyes. Ignore the surrounding. Look within. Never listen to anyone, no rabbi, no priest, no one who tells you God is outside of you and you don't have, that he has the, never. They're all, 100% of them are false prophets. The irony is the Bible warns us about these people, false prophets, all of them. Anyone who tells you that God is outside of you is a false. I don't give a, it doesn't matter how, he could even be the purest, he could be such a good person. He could actually be like a really empathic, good willing person that really wants the best for you. He could be, and he's still wrong because he's ignorant, because he's acting, because he doesn't understand himself. He has the good intentions, but you know how they say, the road to hell is full of good intentions. Never, ever listen to anyone who tells you he has the answers. Listen to people who tell you you got the answers. Inside of you, look within. Those are the people that want what's best for you. They're not looking for approval, for power, to be someone needed. They're trying to give you the power, so you don't need them. They don't give you a fish, they teach you how to fish, so that you can do it yourself and be independent. So be careful of false prophets, which is 99%. The Vatican is all of the Vatican and like the mosques and all of those places, they're full of these false prophets. But they think that and again I said, they could be the greatest, they could be such good people. But don't listen to them, because they're ignorant themselves. And you know what? Some of them aren't. Some of them know exactly what they're doing. And those are just as dangerous. Always ask questions. Despise death. Love life is what he's saying basically. But what he's saying really, yeah, but despise death is so you want to get away from stuff you despise, right? You want to get it, you don't want it. You run away from it, you push it away, you despise it, you hate it. That's what he means. So treat death like that. Push it away from you, despise it. He just says it in such a nice way. He puts it like that. So there is no sorrow in the world once you have escaped the fear of death. Once you understand it's just a part of it, and that it's not the definition of it all. It's not and it doesn't really stop there. It's just another phase. It's just transitioning. Once you understand that, you lose the fear of death. That's how you can truly live. Because you accept life with all of its, everything around it. Not just the good. Quote unquote the good. So so it is not fear of death, it's fear of nature, as he says. A disease postpones death. Good. Well, let me add something to this. What is a disease? It's a dysfunction of the body that always starts from within, always. And the thing is, what happens truly is, it is your body trying to heal. So when you get, for example, when you have this infection, for example, you can't move like you have I forgot how it's called in English, but you have an infection and you can't, like, for example, if you were lifting like a lot of weight and then you get this infection, you can't move your shoulder or whatever it is. That is your body making sure that you don't do what you're not supposed to, so that you don't create more damage. So that illness, it's actually the cure. Your body is smart, he's trying to help you. He's saying you're doing damage, stop. And that goes for everything. When you cough, it's because you have something inside you that doesn't belong there. So you cough and you cough. It's not an illness, it's a symptom of your body fighting that illness. You should be glad. When you feel like you need to let something out or do something, don't fight. Don't feel like, oh, sorry for it. Like, yeah, my body is fighting. I am fighting. That's how you should feel. So it is ill health that you escape, not death. No one escapes death. And holy shit. You know what? Yeah, I'm contemplating, do we stop here? Or do we continue a little bit longer? I think I'm going, like, I feel so much better right now. and like I don't know if you can see, but it's flowing for me like right now, and I feel like, just as a side note, I feel like I'm doing a lot better, like I'm improving, and so anyone who sees this maybe, I hope you enjoy, and you can. I would appreciate any feedback, and I just want to say I will stop here because we have so much to talk about, and there is no need to rush in. I'll just. I hope you learned something. I certainly did. And next time we're gonna continue, probably, or maybe, yeah, maybe continue a little bit about disease and how to deal with it. Or we're gonna go to another, come back to the topic. If you remember, we were talking about friendship, etc., and how to accept yourself. We're also gonna talk about old age and pleasures and so many stuff. But for now, for today, I hope you enjoyed. And always remember, we are all immortal souls in temporary bodies. Don't be afraid. We'll talk next time. Ciao.